Guys, a lot of you have been talking about Barry Hearn's, press conference. Barry Hearn's the man. I'm telling you, Barry Hearn's the man. I love Barry Hearn. He's always been. If he's somebody, if he's saying something about somebody that you like or you're a fan of, you're probably not gonna, and he's not on your side, you're probably not gonna like what he says. He's quite annoying. He's somebody that gets under people's skin. But like I said, if it's not somebody, if he's not saying something about somebody that you're a fan of, or he's just funny. He's just funny, man. I love him. I think he's great. I think his speech was brilliant. I honestly did. He said a few controversial things about slave trade and, about, how promoters back in the day used to be, have the fighters as slaves and have them on slave contracts, and that didn't go down too well. And a lot of things got mentioned about race, and there was 2 black fighters there. Listen, I don't think Barry Hearn's any racist of such. He's not. This is a man that's given many black fighters opportunities and made them stars from many different backgrounds. It was just one of those things. I don't think he never meant no malice behind anything he said. So I don't think we need to get things twisted. I think people take things to heart very quickly. But I do think that sometimes you have to be, in the world that we're in right now, you have to be a bit politically correct. You can't say some things because, it affects a lot of people. It does affect people, but you've got to be careful. However, I don't think Barry Hearn meant it in any malice way. I don't think he's that type of man. I just think he's a very honest individual that says how it is. And I like him. I like him. I think he was way better than Eddie. And listen, Eddie's great at what he does, but I think Barry Hearn's on another level. Eddie Hearn once said that my dad's like me times by 10, and he's right. Barry Hearn is like Eddie Hearn times by 10. Barry Hearn's the man. I just like the guy. I just like the guy's character. I like him. I think he needs to be there on the table a lot more. He knows what he's talking about. He's very good. He mentioned how that now the fighters have a lot more control over their careers. The fighters now have a lot more say, and actually now the fighters are actually employing them, Matchroom and Eddie and Barry, as they're employing them, to do a job for them, rather than having them down in slave contracts like he said that they did with the fighters in the yesteryear. So I think Barry Hearn is a great promoter. He's always been a great promoter. And you can see where his son's picked up all his qualities from. His dad's brilliant. His speech was epic. Honestly, his speech was epic. I listened to all of his speech. I've always liked to listen to Barry Hearn. I think he talks a lot of sense. He does. He's an accountant by trade. He just talks a lot of sense. He knows what he's talking about. Sometimes a lot of these guys speak in riddles, and you don't quite understand what's he trying to say. They speak in riddles, but they're very good. They're very good. He knows. These people know how to promote fights. They know how to get the fighters out there, and they know how to represent their fighters. That's for sure. And that's why I love Barry Hearn. Look at the way he promotes Joshua. They make it out like Joshua's the best thing since sliced bread, because they know how to promote fighters. They know how to hype things up. Barry Hearn's brilliant at it. He's brilliant at it. And this is a guy that's very intelligent, not just in boxing, but he's got his hands in so many different sports. And I remember when my dad told me about Barry Hearn, he said Barry Hearn, Steve Davis made him. Steve Davis was the one. And Barry Hearn's never looked back since. He's become a huge name in Britain, made a huge amount of money. A guy that I interview a lot, Tony McKenzie, was also promoted by Barry Hearn. And Tony McKenzie has good things to say. He said, Barry Hearn always used to look after him, always take care. He was a good promoter. And he goes, he even said to me that I wish I met Barry earlier on in my career. If I'd met Barry early on in my career, I probably would have been in a much more better position financially. So Barry Hearn's done a lot of good things for a lot of fighters. Yes, promoters are always going to get stick for the fact of how the way they are and the fact that they make a lot of money, this, that. But that's natural. That's every promoter does that. But I don't, like I said, I think Barry Hearn's done a lot more good for the sport than bad. And I don't think his comment that he said was meant in any kind of malicious way. I just think he's just being honest and saying it how it is. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you thought about Barry Hearn's epic speech. I thought it was epic. I thought brilliant. I thought his speech was brilliant. But leave your thoughts, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.